What's happening, people? We're going to talk about various topics, but I decided to just look up, just make sure I'm verified what I was saying was true about Mike Tyson. And I dare anybody, show me any footage of Mike Tyson boxing on the back foot, boxing backwards. He doesn't do it. His style doesn't allow for that. He just doesn't. It's just what it is. He does not box on the back foot. It's just what it is. His style does not allow for that. I heard some people talking about Peter McNeely fight. He fought on the back foot. No, he didn't. Go watch it again. Peter McNeely came to him. Peter McNeely pushed him backwards. Mike Tyson only got to really do something when he was moving forward. Check it out. See for yourself. Jack Dempsey was the same thing. Couldn't fight off the back foot. Couldn't throw a jab and step backwards and box. It's the style. Marcus Maidana can box off the back foot. That's a decent jab. Deontay Wilder can actually box off the back foot. We saw Anthony Joshua box Andy Ruiz off the back foot. We know Tyson Fury can box off the back foot. But Mike Tyson just can't fight off the back foot. He doesn't know what to do. Look at footage of his fights. Razor Ruddock, they were fighting in the center of the ring. Tyson's always effective going forward. But if you have him stuck still, standing up on the back foot, he don't know what to do. Real talk. Again, a guy who's talking from a boxing perspective. Go check it and see for yourself. Go look at all the footage of Mike Tyson. You're going to see. What I'm saying is true. Only talking from a boxing perspective. I don't have time for all the other things. Like I said, some people, they're clowns. I ain't got time for buffoonery, man. I don't have time for scoring brownie points. I'm here to talk boxing. Boxing. I was watching I believe it's Max Kellerman's piece with Andre Ward, and they were discussing, smash that like button if you like what's happening, because you're getting a lot of what you need today. I was out there reading a book, really inspirational book, man, on a leader. It was really great. And yeah, occupying my time as profitable as possible, you know what I'm saying? Well, when we're talking boxing, I was listening to Max Kellerman and Andre Ward, and they were talking about Deontay Wilder's excuses going into fight with Tyson Fury and losing. And their take on it was interesting. Max Kellerman talking about Deontay Wilder getting caught on the back of the head, which I disagree with. It was the back of the ear, but wasn't the back of the head. So I disagree with that. But anyway, he was talking about that is what probably got his equilibrium off. Because as we all know, he did not get a busted eardrum. It's just his ear got cut on the outside. And Tyson Fury dropped him twice anyway. And so he probably was a little bit knocked off balance by getting hit with the back of the ear. But it's allowed to get hit in the back of the ear. What's the problem is if you get caught in the back of the head here, whereas the cerebellum and medulla oblongata, which controls balance. So, you know, you don't want to get caught there. But anyway, he was talking about that. Deontay Wilder decided to use this 40-pound costume excuse. Excuse me because I'm yawning, because I'm tired. 40-pound costume excuse when he was actually fighting with 40 pounds. He would fight, he would spar, and so on with 40 pounds of something on him. So he's used to that. I think that, as Max Kellerman said, it's probably the 40 extra pounds that Tyson Fury had over him, putting that weight down, that really tired him out, which I truly believe. and he's looking to enact immediate rematch clause, which I think is fair enough. Now, the one thing that I didn't really truly agree with Max Kellerman on, and I still don't agree with Max Kellerman on, is, having Mark Breland stop the fight so early. Now, let me just say, of course, better early than late. But it looked to me like Deontay Wilder was starting to figure out Tyson Fury and was getting his bearings. He had weathered the storm of punches that Fury had hit him with. And now he's actually starting to get his act together. Okay? But a lot of you people will disagree with me on that because he was in the corner and Tyson Fury seemed to be wailing on him like crazy. I said seemed. But I truly believe that he could have gone a lot further on. But what am I to know? What do I know about boxing, right? Now, Andre Dirrell, not Anthony Dirrell. Andre Dirrell was screaming for the fight to be stopped. And Mark Breland took that chain up, boy. He took the chain up. And Breland just threw the towel in. Didn't consult nobody. Didn't say nothing to Wilder the round before. He just threw the towel in. And I don't care what nobody say. I can't give Breland props for that. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't give Breland props for that. You just, Andre Dirrell be yelling in your ear, throw in the towel, throw in this, and you just get chained up and you just throw in the towel, okay? That's what happened. Because Andre Dirrell was yelling nonstop, and that's what Deontay Wilder was saying. He called the wrong person, Anthony Dirrell, who said, I didn't have nothing to do with that. It was Andre Dirrell, his brother, who was screaming to the top of his lungs to Mark Breland to throw in the towel. And at the weirdest possible moment, Breland finally throws in the towel. Now, when Deontay Wilder was getting dropped, when Deontay Wilder was getting wobbled and rocked, he wasn't throwing in no damn towel. Now that Wilder's actually standing up, started to trade, blocking some of the punches. He was still getting hit. Blocking some of the punches, but starting to trade. That's when you're going to stop the fight? Come on, man. It's like, so, anyways. So some people share my opinion. Other people don't share my opinion. And Max Kellerman and Andrew Ward were trying to argue, Andrew Ward particularly was trying to argue that Wilder should thank Mark Breland for stopping the fight early because he could have taken on more damage and probably been a wrecked fighter. I hear him. I understand what he's saying. I just don't think that it was going to happen. Okay? I personally didn't think that was going to happen. Or not at that point. They're saying that Mark Breland, because he stopped it so prematurely, Wilder got the excuse so they could actually set up a third fight. Let me see who that is. That could be somebody who came to me. Let's see. Oh, it's Mr. Riley. All right, cool. All right. Didn't come to me. It's my neighbor. Yeah, so, I can understand. Trust me, I can understand that. Hold on a second. I personally can understand someone, you know, agreeing with Mark Breland. Right? And I don't want Wilder to fire Mark Breland, but I would understand if he did. But he's not firing Mark Breland. But you could see Wilder going to the corner saying, why did you do that, Ninja? Because he was fully collective. Okay? He was fully collective. He was very present. He was trying to weather the storm and get his bearings back. That's all he was trying to do. And we've seen this in several fights against Luis Ortiz, Eric Molina. Several fighters had hurt him, but he'd get time to recoup, weather the storm, get used to what the fighter's doing, their power and all that, and then he'd come back at them. So he was trying to just keep his composure, pull it together, weather the storm, and then come back at Fury. You know, and Fury was really putting the hurt on him, trying not to give him any chance so he could finish him off. But Wilder was starting to catch on Fury a bit. He had a really bad 6th round. In 7th round, he was starting to catch on. So that's why I said I wasn't quite sure why they stopped the fight. Again, I'm just speaking what I see. Okay? You know, lots of guys talk. They do this. Right? I'm not one of those guys. All right? And you'll notice I maintain my position. All right, unless you can show me better. And so far, these guys can't show me better. Right? They talk about a lot of things and they quote a lot of stuff, but a lot of the times, you got to understand boxing, man. You really do. To understand what I'm saying. And some of these guys, they say they understand boxing, but they don't really, man. I'm being honest. All right? So, you know, I still believe Mark Breland threw in that towel way too early. And I thought he got chained up by Andre Durrell. Andre Durrell chained him up to stop the fight. And Mark Breland should be smarter than that. But listen to Andre Durrell, you know, and this man's been boxing. He know about boxing, Mark Breland. He been, like I said before, being undisputed welterweight champion of the world. Mark Breland. Okay? And then he went up to 154 and he copped a belt. Okay? This is Mark Breland. Okay? Good fighter. So he's got a lot of experience, but I can't believe he took the chain up from Andre Durrell. Andre Durrell yelled loud enough to make Mark Breland throw in the towel. And Durrell's thing was, Deontay Wilder got beaten. He got dropped in the 3rd, looked wobbly, and he got beat up again in the 5th. And then he got beat up again in the 6th. So he's saying, man, throw in the towel on this dude. What are you doing? Scrap it. Start anew fresh. This guy, you don't want to have him taking unnecessary damage. Mark Breland took the chain up and just went with it. You know, and Wilder was kind of angry. He was like, what the hell are you doing? Because he's collective. He's taking punches, but he's collective. He's not punch drunk. You know. It is what it is. I think the corner needs to do, you know, a seminar or a piece or something like that with referees, man. Referees know when to stop fights. They should do a session with them. What you look for, the gait of the person, you know, and all of that stuff. Wilder wants an immediate rematch. I don't blame him. I never blamed Anthony Joshua when he wanted a rematch either. Just like Anthony Joshua, I think Deontay Wilder really has a very slim chance of beating Tyson Fury, but I respect that. A mark of a true champion is no tune-ups, nothing. I'm going to rectify this situation now. So I kind of like what he's doing. Sugar Ray Leonard took an immediate rematch with Roberto Duran. You know, Anthony Joshua took an immediate rematch. He want to set the record straight with Andy Ruiz. You know, Sugar Ray Robinson took an immediate rematch with Jake LaMotta a couple weeks later. You know what I'm saying? That's the mark of a true champion. True champion, he don't want no tune-up fight. He want to go right back in and correct the wrongs. So I give mad props to Wilder showing he's a true champion. He wants to get back his belt immediately. He don't want to go. He don't want to wait. None of that stuff. He want to go back in there and get it done. I like him. And I respect Anthony Joshua for the same thing. And people want to label me as a Wilder fan or whatever y'all want to label me. But y'all not listening to the content of what I say. And what I say, you know, if y'all really paying attention, most of the time, it go exactly as I say. And that's because I'm not talking of myself. I'm talking from Barry Robinson, Million Styles Boxing. I'm talking from Coach Eric Bradley, the fight doctor. These are the guys that I talk from. I don't talk out my ass because I know I'm talking the same things them guys be talking. That's why I promote those guys. I tell you guys, go check out Master Boxing. Y'all really want to talk about boxing? Go check out Master Boxing. Coach Eric Bradley is the real deal. I'm talking from guys like Barry Robinson, who actually trains fighters as well and is very successful at it. I'm talking from these guys. I'm not talking out my ass like you guys talk out your ass. I don't do that. It's just not my opinion, right? When I told y'all Barry Robinson said, Barry Robinson showed, he didn't say, he showed Mike Tyson don't fight going backwards. He just don't do it. He don't know how to fight off the back foot. And I told y'all, Customado comes from a tradition of fighters like Jack Dempsey. Jack Dempsey is Mike Tyson's hero. That's the guy he patented his style off of. Jack Dempsey never go fighting backwards. He don't know how to throw a jab and walk, fight off the back foot. Neither does Mike Tyson. But a lot of you guys talk. Y'all don't examine fights. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all don't listen to trainers. Y'all just talk out your ass. It's what it is. Then you come up on my feed, on my channel, trying to find material which you say is controversial, and then y'all open up your ass and you talk shit, right? Then you come back up on my channel, and when I come up to talk on your channel, you cut me off. Then you come back up on my channel talking shit again. Because your guys are clowns. Y'all not serious people. I've done this time and time again. I've shown videos. And sometimes I say, you know what? These guys be talking shit on their channel. I'm going to just put up a video. I'm not going to argue with them and stuff. Just put up a video. And I show you what I'm saying. To this day, I show people why Mayweather could beat Thomas the Hitman Hearns. I showed it. Like I showed that shit. I could show you guys there is no fight where Mike Tyson fought off the back foot. None. But you guys you're aggravating. I can understand why people in boxing don't talk boxing with you fans. Just don't argue with you guys. Because you guys will keep on talking nonsense nonstop. And people who actually in the know in boxing and actually know about boxing, it don't make no sense. It's pointless talking to you guys. It's pointless talking to you guys. Okay? If y'all really want to know boxing, go to Master Boxing. Go to Coach Eric Bradley, the fight doctor. Go to Barry Robinson. I direct you guys to these guys. When I'm talking, I don't talk of myself. I'm always talking from them guys. I didn't just come up with shit. When I told you guys, punching power it's not just about size with punching power. A guy could be a featherweight and hit pretty hard because it has a lot to do with a lot of things. So when what was his name? D Styles was saying something really stupid to me. It was stupid to me because I speak from a boxing perspective. Which you'd rather be hit by Deontay Wilder or Chocolatito? That's a dumb question. It's a dumb question because you're looking at the height and the weight of the fighter, and punching power got nothing to do with that. If you can crack, you can crack. And then there's different ways how people punch. Like, you fight fans just don't understand boxing, because if y'all understand boxing, you would ask such stupid hypothetical questions. Then intangible, you just asked me a dumbass question. You don't even understand how dumb that question is. You asking, I guess you now you kind of clarify what you're saying, but to me it was just the dumbest question in the world. Okay, because again, coming from a boxing perspective, I don't know about nothing else but a boxing perspective. I can't get. You say something like, I'm trying to make clear. Is this what you said, brother? Did you say that you as a person or me as a person gonna ask Mike Tyson to box me on the back foot? Now, first of all, let me tell you why it's a dumb question. You and I are not professional boxers. Secondly, the point we made was these boxers need to force Mike Tyson to box off the back foot. So you're not going to ask him to fight off the back foot. Secondly, he does not know how to throw a jab and box off a back foot. So why would you ask him to do something he can't do? Like, all of these questions just, do you understand how stupid this question is? The dude's style does not allow him to box off the back foot. He's not going to jab and box off the back foot. He does not do that. Go look at all his fights. He doesn't do it. Like, how do we even express this to you as a fight fan? Do you even understand what I'm saying? There is no fight you're going to find with Mike Tyson boxing off the back foot, throwing a jab. He's just not going to do it. He doesn't do that. Okay? Like, how many times do I have to say that? He doesn't do that stuff. You can go look at all the footage of Mike Tyson from his amateur pro to, he doesn't do that. His strength is fighting off the front foot. His whole style is engineered like Jack Dempsey. Go look through all his fights. He'll never see Jack Dempsey fighting off the back foot. This is just what it is. Like, what do I have to explain to you, fight fans? It's like talking to a wall. You guys just don't understand what I'm saying. It's like I'm communicating in a different language, or I'm a different species of human, you know? I mean, how stupid do you have to be to understand this? All right? So you don't get it. Like, you just don't get it. All right? So when I say that these fighters, if they make Mike Tyson fight off the back foot, they would beat him. I just don't understand why that's a problem for you. And still, I see clownery nonstop right now, because this is as simple as it gets. And yet you're writing paragraphs of clownery, which I'm going to read so that the viewers here who are watching, because the difference between me and you is I don't mute people. I don't censor people like that. Unless they're being abusive and they have no points, I'm not going to censor them. I will read your clownery so that everybody can hear it, and I will respond. And you're never going to address the issue. I know this already. But I could not beat Mike Tyson if I walked him down. You're not a professional boxer, first of all. And second of all, we didn't talk about walking him down. We were talking about, could he fight off the back foot, which you still haven't addressed. You're talking about a hypothetical, could Mike Tyson fight off the back foot if I told him to fight off the back foot? And the answer is still no. Which is why I don't understand your question. Because I just made the statement that he cannot fight off the back foot. You'll never see him in a professional fight fighting off the back foot. So what is your point? You have no point, intangible. Yet you mute me, talk about how you don't have time, yet you go on with your whatever your thing is for probably an hour or something. I don't know, because I didn't stick around. I was doing other things. You don't have time. What does that mean? You are intimidated by me because you don't know how to answer me. You cannot answer me, brother. If you said I could beat Mike Tyson when he moves backwards, that would actually clarify your point. Again, you are stupid because he does not move backwards. He does not fight backwards. He does not box backwards.
So no matter what you say, Mike Tyson's not going to beat you up going backwards. It's just what it is. He doesn't do that. He'll beat your ass because you're not a professional boxer, but he's not going to do it off the back foot. It's just never going to happen. Because he does not fight off the back foot. This is not my words, brother. This is from a professional guy who trains fighters. Again, the clownery. Listen, people, I'm going to read this. Intangible Boxing says, of you saying that physical advantages and phases don't matter. If he were to fight off the back foot, I would be walking him down. Again, the stupidity of things. I went about 40 minutes. Now, let's go to it. Does someone being walked down mean they're fighting off the back foot? First of all, do you even know what fighting off the back foot is? That means stepping backward, first of all, not out of control because somebody's pushing you, but because you're actually stepping backward to create space to box. Mike Tyson does not do that. He does not take steps backward. You can walk down a fighter by bullying them, pushing them, and pushing them, and bullying them, and they just can't fight off the back foot, so they can't step backwards. You are pushing them backwards. You are forcing them to step backwards. That's what Peter McNeely was doing to Mike Tyson. By the way, that fight was stopped controversially, if you were not aware. Mike Tyson dropped him twice with counter punches while he was being pushed backwards. But once Mike Tyson got on the front foot, he was tearing Peter McNeely's ass up. That's why he dropped to one knee, then he got back up and he dropped him again. Okay? All the guys that beat Mike Tyson beat him off the front foot. They was pushing him backwards. He can't fight off the back foot. He can't. Once you are pushing him backwards, which is something he does not intuitively want to do, he has no answer for it. It's what it is. Now, Deontay Wilder can actually box off the back foot. Actually has boxing skill off the back foot. We've seen it against Bermane Stiverne. We've seen it against King Kong Ortiz, who's coming off the front foot, coming at him. He actually can pivot out the way of a guy coming at him. He actually can check hook you. He actually has moves off the back foot. Okay? For your information. So does Anthony Joshua. We've seen the masterclass boxing he put on Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz didn't have no idea how to deal with that. Then he blamed it on his weight. When we all know he and his coach had really tried to put on more pounds to knock out Anthony Joshua more successfully. Andy Ruiz had no answer for Anthony Joshua's varying range and pivoting around him all the time. Look beautiful. Masterclass. Anthony Joshua never showed that he could box off the back foot until then. Real talk. Mike Tyson never had an answer though. He never knew how to box off the back foot. And we saw it fight after fight where he was dominated. The last fight being his very final 40th fight, where the guy just beat the shit out of him and he quit. Another white dude. So, I mean, you can say what you want, but the facts will remain the same. You could try and twist it and be a clown again, but at the end of the day, Mike Tyson don't know how to fight going backwards. So Anthony Joshua, who likes Mike Tyson's style, obviously, which is why he fights small and he fights on the inside. If he can use his range and push Mike Tyson back, he beats him. Anybody who pushes Mike Tyson back beats them. That's how it go. Can you push him back? That's the question. I believe Wilder would be able to do it because Mike Tyson got to put in a lot of work to get to the inside of that reach. That's a long-ass reach on a quick-footed guy. Tyson Fury, I know he could do it against Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's his idol. He was named after Mike Tyson, so it would be a very sad story for him to beat Mike Tyson's ass up, but he will beat him up. This is the argument. You got to have an argument, my friend. You have to understand the argument. And this is very well articulated by me right now. I thought Wilder would beat him based on that. Do I say that definitively he would beat him? No, I never said that. But I see the difficulties in Mike Tyson getting past that reach. That's a long-ass reach to get past. That's the argument that you guys made for Mayweather being beaten by Thomas the Hitman Hearns. But all of a sudden, y'all don't have that argument for Wilder versus Mike Tyson. Wilder's not soft to the body. Tyson Fury put heat on him coming from a tall guy weighing down his weight on him in the clinch. Mike Tyson wouldn't have that kind of advantage. It's the clinch, because Wilder would clinch him up. Tyson's a guy that don't know how to get out of clinch, and he don't know how to clinch up when he's hurt. So there's all these little disadvantages. Yeah, hell of a fighter with a bob and weave peekaboo style. Hell of a fighter. But that's all he do. That's what he good at. And you have to be versatile. Anthony Joshua's versatile. We know he can fight on the inside, trade a little too much sometimes. We know he can fight on the outside. He kind of a bit chinny. Okay? We know he can box a bit. We know Tyson Fury is a master on the inside or the outside, but he can get caught and he can be dropped. These are the advantages and disadvantages of a fighter. Deontay Wilder, we know if you could pressure him correctly, you could make him go backwards when he doesn't want to go backwards. The idea is putting pressure on him, non-stop pressure on him. But if you're a shorter guy, it's a harder task for you than if you're a taller guy like Tyson Fury, because he can pop him with the jab. Wilder can misestimate the distance and get popped with the jab, and then he can't respond with his jab. You know, Tyson Fury's special in that respect because he's long, but he can also collapse it all in and become smart. He can fight at short range as well. We saw him do that against the former opponent that busted his eye. He started putting his weight down on the dude, and he started shortening up the distance so he could beat him up. All right? So he was working on that strategy for Wilder with this other guy. I forgot what his name was. My point anyway is this, that a lot of people assume a lot of things. The way how you know vulnerability of a fighter is by seeing the same style dominate him time and time again. The same technique, the same strategy. Then you realize this fighter, it has limitations. All right? It's not just by a fighter getting their first loss or second loss. Now, I thought Andy Ruiz's style would have beaten Anthony Joshua. So I still pick Andy Ruiz to beat Anthony Joshua, but I always gave Anthony Joshua his props. I was told you guys, I never said nothing bad about Anthony Joshua. I still believe in my heart to hearts, Wilder and Tyson Fury beat Anthony Joshua, but we don't know. He could prove us wrong on that. Ultimately, the actual fight tells us the truth. But I think that Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder are just a little too quick for him, so he won't get his defense into position soon enough for these guys. But having said that, he's a bit slow, so I could see Mike Tyson, getting to him because Tyson was fast, okay? The problem with it is Tyson Fury and Wilder are also fast. They're pretty quick, and they're both very strong and athletic. And that's why I don't know Mike Tyson. Lennox Lewis was pretty quick himself. Was cat-like and quick and had great timing. And Evander Holyfield obviously was quick and explosive. So Razor Ruddock was much a slower boxer, got some power. So there's a chance that Anthony Joshua, who I don't think is a Frank Bruno at all, but he a little bit chinny though. He is a little bit chinny, but he's got the heart of a lion. You know what I'm saying? I think that though Anthony Joshua, I look at him and I say, okay, out of all of them, he's technically better than Deontay Wilder, and he applies a much more scientific approach. So he does various things in that ring, but he is slower, but he does come through and he does get back up. We can never say that he's been KO'd. You know what I'm saying? He's been dropped a couple times, but he keep on getting back up.
Okay, so Anthony Joshua's a dude that again, he's a heart of a lion, and these heavyweights, man, this new breed of heavyweights is interesting. They're interesting cats. They seem to have this determined will to keep going. You might be beating the shit out of them, but they keep going. So that's the interesting thing about Anthony Joshua is as Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, they all seen the canvas and they still get back up. All of them have gotten back up. So that's an interesting fact to look at with these new bloods. But just there's a lot more to the table that these guys bring. A lot of people criticize Deontay Wilder, and I'm going with Deontay Wilder. I talk about certain fighters a lot, not because I'm a fan of them necessarily, but I think that the fans just don't know what they're watching. And Wilder has, and Tyson Fury even spoke about this, Wilder has an excellent jab. He really looked at Wilder's composure. He thought he was going to get Wilder out of there much sooner. And, Wilder was not going nowhere. And so, that's the kind of thing that I like. When people were going down on Anthony Joshua, again, I was the guy that was saying, nah, y'all just don't understand, man. This dude is behaving like a true champion. That rematch, I appreciate it. I think Andy Ruiz is going to beat him in the rematch, but I appreciate that he's doing this. He's a stand-up guy. He made no excuses, unlike Wilder, who's making all these stupid-ass excuses. Tyson Fury made Anthony Joshua made no excuses. I like that about this dude. So there's a lot of things about these fighters I talk about, and I have no goat in the race. I'm not like one of those fanboys. Even when I talk about Floyd Mayweather, who I really appreciate, not just his skills, but just his attitude to the whole sport of boxing and how he did his thing. Again, I'm just talking strictly from a boxing perspective. I never talked about how much money he earned. I didn't give a damn about that. I never talked about all his out of the ring stupidity shit that he be talking about, because I don't appreciate that. I just talk about it purely from a boxing perspective. That's where I come from. Okay? There are times I'm wrong about fighters, but usually you guys get the respect. Look at this dude. What's his name? Anthony Yarde. Just won his last fight again. Sergio Kovalev told us that he would become world champion. Anthony Yarde is proven to be beyond his experience. He's pushing himself. He's doing better and better, still with the same trainer. And don't be surprised that he becomes world champion one day. Okay? And the truth be told is, a lot of you guys want to bash this one and bash that one. And some of you fight fans are just caustic, man. You all are just so negative about everything. But at the end of the day, man, I celebrate these fighters. I celebrate all of them, from the beginning of time to now, because these guys built upon it, and all the guys who followed in their footsteps built upon what these other guys did from the beginning. Maybe not perfectly, but things stream down. Some stuff get lost in history. Some stuff gets passed down. And the whole point behind it is, and I've said this from the get-go, and I'm never going to change my mind, boxing as a sport continues to evolve. And if y'all don't want to get with the times, that's your problem. You know what I'm saying? We got YouTubers now fighting one another. We've got women's boxing coming over the horizon and really starting to peak. Some of y'all ain't gonna like that, but I don't give a damn. I couldn't care less. We see exciting fights in terms of UFC guys starting to challenge boxers, and boxers starting to challenge people in the MMA. We're seeing an evolution in combat sports that we've never seen before. And some of you guys just keep on holding on to the past. And y'all don't get left in the past in the sands of time, because fans are getting interested. We had almost 1 million pay-per-view buys for Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. Okay? And we're looking forward to seeing the best face the best in every single division. And we have some exciting matchups coming, So all I'm saying is, I wish you guys wouldn't have to watch my mug. I wish I could just do edited videos in response to some of you guys and just show you what it is that goes on in boxing. But I have to talk. So I talk to you guys, And sometimes I don't have patience with some of you. I'll be honest with you. Some of you just say some dumbass shit
that I don't even understand. Like I just like, dude, I just really don't understand what you just said. So when I say I don't understand what you say, it's because I don't want to curse you out. I don't want to say man, what the fuck, you know? I don't want to say that. Like, what the fuck is that? You know, like some of you stuff you guys say, I don't know. Do you guys understand boxing's counterintuitive? It's a counterintuitive sport. You know, there's just a lot that go on in boxing that if you was just thinking boxing was about strength and power and excitement and how many punches you throw, you can be horribly disappointed. That's not what boxing is about. Okay? Boxing is you make one small mistake in boxing, it could cost you your life. But the guys at that level that we're talking about, especially today, the guys at that level are just at such a level that their bodies, their minds, their spirit is trained in such a manner that guys don't make those mistakes. You see what happened with Torrey Harrison versus Jamal Charlo, how he got groggy and he got, stopped. Now think about this. I'm trying to help you guys understand just how high up these guys are in boxing. You didn't see that with Jarrett Hurd versus what's his name? Jarrett Hurd versus J-Rock. Didn't J-Rock just recently get stopped by a dude from, I think it was Colombia? J-Rock got beaten by a guy from Colombia. Right? Now, it's not that the playing field is so equal that J-Rock could beat that dude. He made a mistake. He made a mistake. It wasn't that the guy was bigger than him. Again, this is counterintuitive. He made a mistake in that fight. And the guy kept on making him pay. He countered the counter of J-Rock. J-Rock would come with the right to the body, and the guy would just spring load the right to the head. He made a mistake. That's why he kept on getting countered. That's why he got overwhelmed. Can J-Rock handle a guy like that? Hell yeah, he can. He handled Jarrett Hurd. You tell me he can't handle that dude? Of course he can. He got the skills, the ability, the mindset, everything to do it. He just kept on making the same mistake. And his trainer told him to change distance and circle a certain way to negate that. Stephen Bregman Edwards. See? That's boxing. Now, they will tell you one or other narrative. They'll tell you something else. But I'm just telling you, he made a mistake. That's why he got. You think Danny Garcia would ever be in that kind of trouble? No. But why? It's not just that Danny Garcia can take a punch. It's that Danny Garcia uses the technique that Tyson Fury showed against Deontay Wilder, that Canelo uses all the time. He rolls his damn head with the punch. If it's coming to his body, he rolls his body with the punch. So the full steam of the punch, I don't care if that guy hit like a freight train. He would be able to roll it, take some steam off of it. Why do you think Mikey Garcia can take the punches of Jesse Vargas or Errol Spence Jr.? Because he lets his body ride the punch. Because in boxing, one little mistake and you're out of there. You're knocked out. So these guys train and repetition, muscle memory, and repetition from since they were children. You think you could step in the ring and do what they do? Hell no, you get killed in there. If I get punched with a punch that them guys load up with to my head, I'm going to die from an internal hemorrhage. These guys have been doing it for years. Their bodies become physically hardened. They know how to roll a punch. They know how to take the steam off a punch. They got the timing down pat. They don't get broken jaws like that. Back in the day when Mike Tyson was fighting certain guys, they got broken jaws. You know why? They didn't know how to ride a punch. Why is it Mike Tyson faces, what's the guy that upset him? I forgot what his name is. Buster Douglas, right? Buster Douglas doesn't get a broken jaw. Buster Douglas doesn't even get broken ribs. And Mike Tyson, we know he can punch to break your ribs. We know he punched through concrete, right? He showed us that. He bust punching bags, right? So it's not like Mike Tyson didn't have power. It's that Buster Douglas knew how to roll a punch. It didn't matter how hard Mike Tyson punches. He knew how to roll it. He knew how to ride it. He knew how to slip it. He knew how to snap back from it, etc., etc., etc. Boxing. It's not about how hard you punch. How strong you are is important. Because how strong you are, you can bully a guy that can punch hard. You can bully him. Move him around the ring. Shove him. Rough him up against the ropes. Pull your whole weight down on him. So it does matter how strong you are. How heavy you are. Yeah, it does matter some. To physically mow a guy down. You're not throwing no punches, but you're roughing him up. And you want to mentally wear a guy down. You want to have him second guessing. You want to have him questioning himself, not flowing, not fighting his fight, hesitating. All of that burns up energy because he's not calm. He's not relaxed. Right? You want to feint him, make him think you're coming in and you're not coming in. Now, when you're seeing that face-to-face, eye-to-eye, it's totally different to seeing it from above and to the side. And fade him with the shoulders, going to throw a shot. Fade him with the foot or the head. Push the head out as if you're going to come at him. You guys don't understand. Boxing is mental. Why do I have to say this over and over again? It's a mental game. It don't matter how much punching power you have. If you got that mental game down pat, ain't nobody beating you. You off for one night. One night wasn't your night. What does be off for one night? Off for one night means your time is slightly off. It means for some reason, you know, you're not mentally in that game like you should be. Okay? If you have an off night that's really off, you could end up dead. There's not much difference between a guy who they say, commentators say have an off night, and a guy who have an on night. It's not much difference. It's a matter of inches. It's a matter of microseconds. Time is slightly off. You know, range slightly off. Just can't quite get the guy. Can't quite time the guy. It's all it takes. At that level. You guys just, I mean, you guys think it's easy because, you know, you watching a fight, you just watching the fight fans. You know, you're not watching it from the perspective of the boxer. Totally different perspective. When you see a guy straight in front of you, or seems to be in front of you at least. All right? It's different. It's a different look. I wish they would have little head cams so you guys could see how fast these guys are, first of all, against each other. And then just get the perspective of the boxer, what really is going on in that ring. The referee has like the best view. He's up close and personal. We watching on the TV, we have a view. It's pretty clear. It's like watching a football game from the stands. You know, it's like watching a basketball game from the stands. It's different to being on the basketball court, on the playing field, in the boxing ring. Wilder didn't really fight Ortiz and Sterling on the back foot. He fought him in the pocket. He's only being pushed back. Man, you don't know shit about boxing, brother. Why do you think he threw a jab, dummy? That's called fighting off the back foot. You stepping around the ring, pivoting around the ring, on the apron of the ring, popping a jab. That's called fighting off the back. Man, forget it. Forget it. Whatever. You told me Evander Holyfield was infighting Mike Tyson. I'm like, what? Never heard of that one.
That's new. He was tying him up on the inside to keep Mike Tyson from doing work on the inside. He wasn't fighting him on the inside. He's fighting him at mid-range. But then again, what do I know about boxing, right? Y'all feel intimidated by me. I know it. Y'all are intimidated by me. That's why you behave so stupid. Because this guy just casually tells you about boxing. And he looks unassuming, scrappy here, and he just talk about boxing. But you see, you got to do your homework. Got to do your homework. A lot of you guys don't do no fucking homework. Y'all can quote off history of guys, but y'all don't really understand what was going on with the fights. You can tell me all kinds of phenomenal shit, but then when we start breaking it down, it don't look that phenomenal anymore. I did videos on this shit. There's lots of things in boxing I don't know. I'm not pretending to be the guru in boxing. People tell me I should train fighters and stuff. No, I'm not going to train nobody. I will direct you to people who actually do that. My door of what you need is a gateway towards real boxing people. That's what this channel is all about. I'm not going to teach you nothing in boxing. No, there are guys who can do that. There's Eric Bradley, the fight doctor. Go pay your money, get his videos. There's Barry Robinson, Million Styles Boxing. There's Carrie Williams. It's a woman. You got a problem with women, then okay, fine. But she does a damn good job teaching the fundamentals to people who never boxed before. I got what's his name? Precise Striking. A dude in Canada. You know, I'm telling you guys, real people who actually boxed and actually know about boxing. That's what I do. Okay? I'm not here to bullshit people. I'm not here to try and favor fight fans. I'm not here to do that. I'm controversial because y'all don't understand boxing. It's counterintuitive. I told you fight fans this over and over again. All right? I don't kiss any particular fighter's ass. I admire what certain fighters do and bring to the table. But don't get it twisted. I don't care about the fighter more than the game. So when I said Floyd Mayweather's TBE, and I keep on maintaining that, I know what I'm talking about. And trust me, there are a bunch of people who are qualified who have said the very same thing. This is not something unique to me. Okay? Now y'all choose not to agree with that, and you're trying to scrap up somebody from 200 years ago or a guy from 100 years ago, and you feel that guy's better than Mayweather. Well, whatever. Suit yourself. You don't want to accept that. It's okay. But at the end of the day, when you come down to the factual statements, that's what it is. All right? I just don't have all the time in the world I put out my videos. You can go watch those on my channel concerning that, which none of y'all can debate and dispute. But so what? He's TBE. That means what? Will there be better than him? Hell yes, there will be. Okay? And we can see it already in the coming generation that we have people who have the potential of surpassing him. So what I'm saying to you is, a lot of you guys get tripped up. You get choked up. And you don't know what it is you really choked up about. You don't know why you have a gut feeling that you have to disagree with somebody. And you don't realize that person's not talking of their own accord. It's not an opinion that they came up with. It's not something they concocted. Because you guys think I'm the source of all knowledge. Not. I don't care. I'm just here to be a gateway to help you guys appreciate the sport of boxing and enjoy it. That's it. That's what the whole channel was about. So if you guys want to behave like clowns and buffoons, that's up to you. Right? For me, I'm serious about it. And many a time I'm correct. I'm not always correct. I told you people I have no problem being wrong and acknowledging that I'm wrong. But at the end of the day, you guys need to stop being assholes, man. You know, you're trying to be right in your arguments, and you already lost the battle because it's established that Mike Tyson don't fight going backwards. He just don't. He don't. That's my reasoning. That's the foundation in which I'm saying these guys will beat this dude or could beat this dude. He don't fight going backwards. Gennady Golovkin fights going backwards better than Mike Tyson. Gennady Golovkin actually can fight going backwards a little bit. Not much. A little bit. Davinchenko whooped his ass, and we all know this. Because Golovkin, really, he don't really have an answer for an infighter. Mike Tyson was an infighter who needed space to throw his punches. He wasn't as strong as Evander Holyfield. He also programmed to think a certain way that you can't even listen to what a person be saying. You guys misquoted me and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, but what is up with people? You guys gotta know that people, I ain't got time to talk shit, man. I don't. Some of my stuff sounds controversial, but when you reflect on it, it took people, Boxing Beats and Rhymes a long time to realize that Roberto Duran wasn't all that. And that what I said about, what's the guys? I can't even remember who the guys. Another lightweight. I said that lightweight actually has fought stiffer competition than Roberto Duran in terms of power punches, more dangerous opponents. Jose Luis Castillo. And of course, Boxing Librarian jumped on my case saying, oh, you trying to praise up Floyd. And I was like, no, I'm just using an example. It just so happened that that's the guy that faced Floyd. But it's just an example to show you that Duran at lightweight wasn't facing guys with high KO ratios. He just wasn't. So what? I'm just saying. He proved himself later on in the higher weight classes. But people call him the greatest lightweight of all time. And he won because of what he just did solely in lightweight. It was because of what he did outside of lightweight and continued onwards. That's why they call him that. No disrespect to Roberto Duran again, but I did my homework. Y'all say I'm tearing down Roberto Duran. Dude, how can I tear down a guy that fought till he was 55 years of age? Won the middleweight championship of the world at 39. Are you serious? I can't tear that dude. I can never tear that dude down. You know why? He already established facts and he's a legendary fighter. There's no way I can tear him down. He's a legendary fighter. It's just what it is. And y'all think I'm always trying to tear down the past greats. Fuck no. But y'all so busy tearing down the present greats and tearing down present people that I said, okay, I'm going to use your standard and I'm going to put it on the past dudes. Why are you guys giving all these past dudes a pass? I'm not saying they're not great. I'm just saying the present guys are also great. That was my argument. Because a lot of you guys don't want to push the sport of boxing forward. Y'all not interested in pushing the sport forward and giving it a positive image. What y'all are interested in doing is tearing down everything that you can tear down. And then when it's time to actually give praise where it's just due, you misplace that praise and you give a heap of praise to fighters you think are good. That's the sad thing about the whole thing. I'm talking real talk. I don't have time to talk shit. I talk real talk out here. I'm not on an ego trip. I don't care about that. My channel has gotten huge views on certain videos. All right, 20K views, 100 and something K views. Who cares? Who cares? I'm not looking for views. If I want views, that's easy to do. Give the people what they want to hear. Sometimes it's vibe well to people. So And then other people look retroactively at what I say about a certain fight, and they realize a lot of the points, the reasoning behind it made sense. Maybe I didn't get the prediction right, but the reasoning behind it, I had a reason why I was saying what I was saying. It made sense. And I'm impressed by Anthony Joshua. Don't get me twisted. I'm not an Anthony Joshua hater. Not a Deontay Wilder hater. I'm not a Tyson Fury hater. I don't hate none of them guys. I'm not a Daniel Dubois hater like some people are. All right? This dude's doing what he's doing. He's carving out a niche. He's doing what he needs to do for himself. He's gaining, you know. I'm happy for him. Gennady Golovkin, man. You could call me a hater for Gennady Golovkin because I don't like the bullshit that people hype him up with. I like him as a person. Do I like him as a fighter? He's an all right fighter. He got a lot of mistakes and errors, but he make it up. With, you know, he's very clinical and very strategic now he punches, if he could get the chance to do so. You know what I mean? He's got good attributes about him. Don't get it twisted. He elite for a reason. He's up there for a reason, you know. I think he's a bit overhyped, but that's it. Okay? Do I like Gennady Golovkin? I don't like him. I don't feel him like that. What I mean by that is the fighting style and stuff. I don't feel him like that. I don't think he deserves a third Canelo fight, but if Canelo fights him, so what? Whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not like one of them people who's like bent out of shape, man, for shit now. Not anymore. Once upon a time, it used to be like that. But all the fighters, they deserve what they do. These guys be doing it 15 years. Amateur to pros, you know, 15 years, 20 years, whatever, you know, a lot of years, you know what I mean? So, I mean, how can I be mad at those people? They been doing it hard, man. They be doing it hard. I got to go watch the fights, man. I don't have nothing but love for all you fight fans out there, but you guys, man, you guys need to, like, seriously, y'all need to consider what somebody be saying, or ask them, what do you mean by that? What you really trying to say? Like I asked Intangible, what I don't understand what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand what you're saying. Just articulate yourself. Ain't that tough? You know what I mean? But that's buffoonery. When you bring somebody on, you ask them to come back on, and then you just blank them and cut them off. What the hell you brought them on for then? Don't do that, man. Try to be a good host. I don't even know what all this is. Let me read it anyway. Wilder didn't really fight Ortiz and still run on them. Yes, he did, brother. I want to ask a question. What should people do as boxing fans? Man, get to love and appreciate the sport. If you call yourself a boxing fan, I'm a boxing fan now. Okay? You're not calling yourself no Wilder fan. You ain't calling yourself no Crawford fan. We're talking boxing fan. Okay? You are, even if you're a Crawford fan, you're a boxing fan first. You appreciate what you're seeing in that ring. See, for me, I don't know about y'all, there's no radio no more. We can actually go and watch fights. And what we appreciate is what we see. All right? That's what I love about boxing. It's what I see and what I hear. That's what I like about boxing. I like to watch the actual fight. I don't know about all the other people. Some people like to read about boxing. Maybe they're a reading boxing fan. Okay? Some people like to talk boxing. They're talking boxing fan. Okay? But for me, and what I think most boxing fans would actually like, real boxing fans that is the actual fights. And looking at them and breaking them down and enjoying them, finding out if you side with somebody, you put a bet, whatever, you siding with your guy. But even if your guy loses, no fucking excuses. He lost. The better man won. Y'all want a rematch or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But a boxing fan is just a boxing fan. You just a fan. You enjoy the sport. You really like the sport. That's why you here. Okay? When a judge give a bad decision, you talk about the judge giving the bad decision. I get that. That's all cool. The sport has some really negative things about it. But don't forget to say, if it was a great fight, man, that was a fucking good fight, though.
It was a good fight. I wish they didn't leave it in the hands of the judges. You know what I'm saying? So my point is, we can't be talking boxing is dying and all the current fighters today are crap. And how the hell that's going to help the sport? You see UFC fighters saying that? Do people in the UFC say UFC is crap? Look at that matchup. It was rubbish. Like, I don't hear that stuff from the UFC side. So why are we as boxing fans saying that? And here's my other point. My other point is, okay, so a boxing fan decides to fight a UFC fighter, whether it's in UFC or in boxing. Why is that a bad thing? Like, we coming down on boxers now for fighting UFC fighters. Okay, you're saying it's not a competitive fight, but it's a crossover fight. You don't know if it's competitive or not. We saw Paulie Malignaggi get beat, at least by the judges' scorecards, by a UFC fighter in bare knuckle boxing. Right? A boxer, a world-class boxer, retired, old boxer, but nonetheless, got beaten by a UFC fighter. Didn't he not? Didn't he not? So it's not impossible for a UFC fighter to beat a boxer. It's not impossible. It's improbable. It's just as equally improbable that a boxer would beat a UFC fighter. But it's intriguing. If Terrence Crawford crosses the pond and decides to fight Conor McGregor at UFC, at MMA, that's going to be intriguing. I'm not going to lie. I believe Conor McGregor will wipe the floor with him, but I mean, would it not be intriguing? Tyson Fury going over to the UFC or to Bellator or something and fighting MMA, wouldn't that intrigue you at least? We know James Stoney got his ass beat, but we've seen Holly Holmes, who was a boxer, a world-class boxer, go across to MMA, train for a while. And we don't know if Crawford and them guys training on the D-Lo, like Clarissa Shields may be training on the D-Lo, whoever. You cross over eventually, and you fight a UFC fighter and you beat him. Or maybe you don't. But you have a competitive fight. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. Why not? Why not? Let it tickle your inside. Let it intrigue you a little bit. Why does it always have to be boxing? The YouTube sport cards, they're not real sport cards. I heard a guy say how I had ACOT Sport TV talk about how Billy Joe Saunders was on the undercard of a YouTube card or the YouTube main event. And didn't that YouTube pay-per-view do great pay-per-view buys? So what's the problem? He was on a card that made great pay-per-view views, and it helped his profile. Demetrius Andrade wasn't on a pay-per-view. He wasn't seen by as many casual fans as Billy Joe Saunders was. It's these things that we're in a different age. All right? We're in a different time and different era. So there's nothing wrong with being somewhat flexible about it. But if you are so very rigid on boxing, and for especially the people who have been going through boxing history, all people should see that boxing was evolving all along, because you get to see historically the formation of, special organizations such as the NBA and the New York State Athletic Commissions. All these commissions, when they started, before that in the early 1920s and the late 1980s, 18s, and so on. A turn of the century didn't have those commissions. They didn't have them. Okay? And boxing started to get more and more controls placed over it. And, the gloves evolved and, boxing techniques evolved, and all these other things evolved with time. Well, what we got now is like a sort of a bona fide sport. It's a blood sport, but it's much more bona fide, it's more certifiable. It feels more professional and everything, And some of the sport, goes away. Like, you had 40 rounds. Guys used to spar, not spar, but fight each other with. And now they cut down the number of rounds. The pace of fighting is a lot faster now than, several years before. I'm not saying that fighters several years before weren't quick or anything like that, but just saying the pace of fighting changed a bit because we had shorter rounds. Okay? And then women started getting into boxing, so we had women boxers, professional that is, because women always boxed throughout time. It's just that they were not allowed that professionally box, but they've been boxing for a long time. Go check out your history, historians. Go check out your history. You're gonna see women been boxing for a long time too, way before the Grecian era. We're talking back in Egypt. We had women who used to box. We had women warriors the same way as well, gladiators and stuff. So, you know, a lot of people just don't know these things. And the further back you go into histories, the more you get to understand what boxing was all about. Boxing wasn't about killing people. The reason boxing in Egypt happened as a less barbaric way than fighting to the death, what they call playing, where guys would go into something like a coliseum and they would duel out to the death. So it became, and actually the person who actually did this whole series on boxing that made me understand that and realize it came actually way before the era of Greece was 78 Sports TV. Literally did a good history lesson on it. And you guys can always go into 78 Sports TV's channel and check it out. Really did a good piece on it. And yeah, boxing started in Egypt. Yeah. It could have been before. Could have been in the Sumerian era. But as far as I do know, the Egyptians used to box. It was a form of entertainment, which was non-lethal because they actually had boxing gloves. They literally have hieroglyphics on that. All right, so I mean, we all know who actually civilized Greece. Greece was also all the way back in the time of Egypt. But we know that Egypt and the Africans actually civilized the world, which is a whole other story for another day. Again, another controversial topic. But the Grecians actually learned a lot from Egypt. So did the Romans. Hence the reason they want to get into the pyramids. That's a whole other story for another day. So anyway, I'm just trying to... that's all I'm trying to do is just shed some light on boxing, a different perspective, an open view on things, and just see it from a boxing perspective. I keep on saying that over and over for you guys. I speak from a boxing perspective, not from a fan's perspective, not from how I feel perspective, from a boxing perspective. Do you get what I'm saying when I talk about that? Yo, I'm out of here, man. Peace to you guys. An hour and 12 minutes. I enjoyed having this discussion with you guys nonetheless. But yeah, the talk that Andrew Ward and Max Kellerman talked about with Deontay Wilder, I partially agree with some of what they were saying, but some of what they're saying I just disagree with. I think Mark Brino took the chain up from Andre Dirrell and threw the towel in. And I think Deontay Wilder saw what was going on. He was cognizant enough to know that. And that just goes to show you that I don't think this dude was going to get hurt really, really bad because he was still collective. He mistaked Andre Dirrell for Anthony Dirrell, but other than that, he knew that one of the Dirrells was up on the ropes yelling for the fight to stop. And Mark Breland took the chain up. He was like, man, he's going to get tagged up and die. Towel! No concentration whatsoever. It's just not, you can't be doing that in a team, man. You're a team player. I don't care how much experience you got. You're going to have people salty all around you. And Jay Diaz was salty. The assistant trainer was salty. And Wilder was straight salty with him. Because Wilder keep him on, which is a very good thing. Because Mark Breland's the guy that really taught Wilder what he needs to know. But at the end of the day, man, come on, man, Mark Breland. You should, heads the guy up or something, man. He been taking an ass whooping. Why didn't you just say, show me something or else I'm stopping the fight? Why didn't he tell Wilder that at least? He got Wilder coming to the corner saying, why'd you stop the fight? It's like, what are you doing, coach? He's like confused. He's like, what just happened? Because he got no preliminary sign. The coach never told him nothing like this fight was supposed to be stopped. The way Al Breland was talking calmly to him, he was like, you know what, oh man, I'm gonna just keep my composure and just ride this storm out, and then I'm gonna try and do my thing, right? So then you could see that's what he was trying to do. And Mark Breland was like, and he just listened to Andre Dirrell, who's chaining his ass up. Stop the fight! Stop the fight! Whoosh! Mark Breland, man. I love the dude though. He He's done a lot for boxing, and Wilder would never be where he is boxing wise without Mark Breland. Obviously, Mark Breland taught him everything he knows, you know. And well, not everything he knows, but you know what I mean. Wilder picked up things from Klitschko and from Lennox Lewis and all these other guys. He listens. You know, he picked up different things. But I'm just saying that, you know, he owes it to Breland. Breland taught him everything he knows. He can't dump Breland. That'd be stupid. But you know, what he need to do is make sure that Breland don't got a towel in his hand. or at least talk to Breland and say, but Breland at least heads me up in the round. If you see that I'm in trouble or something, you know, heads me up or yell something at me at least. Be like, hey, dude, I'm gonna throw the towel in if you don't. You know, let me at least get a heads up before you do it, so I can at least be inspired to do something. You know what I'm saying? Because usually, like what happened with Sergey Kovalev and Buddy McGirt. Buddy McGirt said, dude, Sergey, you took too much punishment in this round. You better show me something in the next round. Sergey was like, nah, man, I got it. He tired. Like, show me something in that round. I'll call a fight. Now, that's how a real trainer and a coach would deal with the situation. Not just throw a towel in. And dude think he doing well. He riding the storm. He keeping his composure and everything. Mark Breland was talking quietly to him in the corner. So he's like, yeah, man, I just need to ride through this storm and I'm gonna make it, you know? And then the dude throws the towel in and he'd be like, what the hell? He'd be like, what the hell? Just go on there. He confused and shit. Because that's what Wilder was. Wilder was confused. He was like, now you gonna throw the towel in? Like, dude, come on, man. You could have thrown the towel in round 5 or 3 or 6, man. Why didn't you throw the towel then? Come on, man, dude. You know what I mean? And you know, a lot of people defending Mark Breland, and I get it. All right, I get what you guys are trying to do, but you guys really are overcompensating right now. Like, come on, man. Y'all know what was really going on in that fight. Come on, man. Y'all saw the fight just like I saw the fight. All right? It's an overreaction by Mark Breland. And it's okay. He's the trainer. You know, it's okay to make mistakes. Just don't do it for the next fight. Let's heads up the guy or something, man. So the dude knows what to do. If he had to take up his game, if he got to be more defensive, just let the guy know exactly what's going on. That's all, right? And people trying to go in on J. Diaz now. Come on, man. J. Diaz should be angry, or J. Diaz should be confused. Because here's a dude that's not in the camp, Andre Durrell, saying, throw in the towel. First, that motherfucker should shut the fuck up, okay? You're not in the corner. Shut up. But then the second thing of all is the fact that you're telling Mark Breland is talking to you privately, I'm going to stop the fight. And JD is like, dude, don't stop the fight, okay? Now, first of all, why is Mark Breland talking to J. Diaz about this when he should be talking to Wilder about this? Why is Wilder clueless about what's happening? He's collective. He can hear you. Why isn't Mark Breland talking about? You know why? Because he knows that Wilder will tell him, don't stop the fight. And what Mark Breland needed to add was cojones to say, I will stop it if you don't show me something. And if you keep on taking punishment, I'm going to stop it. That's all he had to say. So hopefully that's a learning experience for that corner. I'm glad that Mark Breland is not going to be chucked from Deontay Wilder's team, because you can't do that to the teacher, the guy that got you where you are. You can't do that to him. But he must put something in place to ensure that at least he's got some sort of, he knows what's up. He needs to at least hear, his corner needs to let him know what's up. His corner was not letting him know what's up. So if Breland's going to throw in the towel, you need to tell your fighter that, man. You need to let him know. Whether it's shouting across the ring, I know you're a soft-spoken guy. Let J. Diaz say it then. Mark Breland say, hey, J. Diaz, tell Wilder, if he don't do something, I'm throwing in the towel. And J. Diaz was supposed to do that. He was supposed to say, Wilder, listen here, boy. Wilder, You better do something, otherwise Breland gonna throw in the towel. That's what he needed to do. One of them needed to do it. You know, because Breland's a soft-spoken guy. He's not gonna just yell and scream and shout. That we know that already. So that was up to Jay Diaz to do. I don't know if Breland was trying to get Jay Diaz to do that. But that's what Breland did. All right. But am I mad at Mark Breland? No. Like I said, I said this and I maintain it. I'm not mad at Mark Breland. Okay, I can understand if Wilder wanted to chuck him from the team, but I'm not mad at Mark Breland. I don't think anybody's mad at Mark Breland like that. You know, he decided he's going to conserve his fighter to prepare him for the next fight. Nothing's wrong with that. But you took a chain up from Andre Dirrell, man. And if Andre Dirrell didn't say shit, you wouldn't have thrown in no damn towel. Deontay Wilder would still be fighting Tyson Fury, and we don't know where that would have led, but he'll still be responding. You know, and for all the damage he got, at least you could have let him go on a little longer. You know, at least let him be entitled to that. You know, you gotta give the guy a chance, man. And they will argue, well, he gave him a chance in round 3, in round 5, in round 6. Yeah, but Wilder wasn't going anywhere. We saw that. We saw he was still strong on his feet and his posture and stance. Even though he was shaky on his feet, he was still strong on his feet. And he's very composed about what he was doing. Nonetheless, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not a Wilder fan for saying this. I'm just telling you what I observed. Okay? Was Tyson Fury whooping his ass? Abso-fucking-lutely. Sorry about the F-bomb. But that doesn't mean that Wilder wasn't making some necessary adjustments and trying to come back in the fight. He was just trying to ride the storm at the point in time. But these things happen. So Wilder now is going to execute the immediate rematch, and we'll see how the third fight goes. 2 very exciting fights. Tyson Fury surprising us in both fights. And, you know, I never thought Tyson Fury would knock out Wilder. I'm impressed. I knew somebody was going to get dropped, though. And I thought Tyson Fury was going to drop Wilder in this fight. But I never vocalized it, per se. But I said... Actually, I did say that, didn't I? I said, don't be surprised if Tyson Fury walks down Wilder and even possibly drops him. Well, he dropped him twice. So that's crazy. But I wanted to see what Wilder might do late in the fight, if he had anything left, or if he was conserving himself for later in the fight when Tyson Fury would definitely slow down, because he was really putting his all into it. So I really wanted to see what would happen there, but never got the chance, an opportunity to see it. Hopefully in this third fight that they have, they'll at least allow Wilder the chance to, if he has to weather the storm, and then see what he can do after that. So anyway, this is what you need. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this content that I am giving you, all I want you to do is I want you to subscribe, share. You can also comment and also donate via Western Union or MoneyGram. Just ask me for the details. I'll give you the details. You ought to give me some details too. On that note, peoples, I'm out of here. Let's see the last thing that Intangible was saying there. I want to just make sure I see what he's saying here. Intangible Boxer says, I will 100% clarify my intentions with the question. I intend to ask the previous question in a more extreme form, which was simply in yes or no fashion. Yeah. All right, peoples, man. Y'all keep on watching boxing. I got to go watch this Chocolatito and the former WBA super flyweight champion fight, as well as I have to watch the Joseph Parker fight, which did not watch on DAZN either. I'm hearing that Bob Arum might be selling Top Rank to DAZN. That's interesting. We'll see how that goes. He says there's some top people who he could sell his company to. Shout out to Bob Arum if he wants to do that. That'd be a good thing because, see, it might just open the door for a lot more fights. And I was listening to Bud Crawford talking about even these fights, and my face looks funky as hell. I look like a Muppet. But I'm so tired, folks. I'm really tired. I had a busy day again, and I did not eat properly, and so it is what it is. Just trying to ride out the storm before I go to sleep. But yeah, I've gotten to actually catch up on boxing with you guys because I've spent probably close to 5 hours talking boxing. I feel like a Muppet. I really do. My face looks like a Muppet. It's so funny. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Your face just looks like a Muppet. It reminds me, I don't know if you guys know Muppets from the Muppet Show, but my whole face looks like those old guy Muppets from the Muppet Show. I look like a Muppet. No, this is so fucking hilarious. Like I have no neck. I really look like a Muppet. This is very amusing. Anyways, people. Yeah. It was good talking boxing with you guys, even though it wasn't not many people came to talk this time. But I like talking boxing. It's strange how I leave my videos online, and in 2-3 weeks, I see some ridiculous. Sometimes some of my videos blow up to like 15,000 views, and I'm like, what the hell happened here? I wasn't paying attention. I don't know what's going on with that. I wish people would donate to my channel, though. Don't just watch my videos and give me props. Pay me. I'm just playing. You guys do whatever you feel like doing. Yeah, so that's it for me as what you need. Shout out to Tommy Temper, and of course, Get This Smoke. And also shout out to what's his name? That's a Real Boxing Channel. I got a shout out to that channel. Oh my God, I forgot the channel's name. Serious Boxing Channel. Really great stuff. Goodfellas Sports TV is also cool. He talks boxing mostly. He has his biases, but it is what it is. But Goodfellas Sports TV tries to talk, boxing talk straight through. And that's good. He kind of knows his boxing, so I kind of dig him, Anyways, people, I gotta go, man. I gotta go. My dear me. I have to find out if some folk landed back in America safely. And then I have 100 million other things and other businesses to deal with, so I'm trying to minimize this one. This is one of those businesses that it came off a little bit and then it didn't come off anymore. So we're trying to monetize this channel through backdoor means. Hopefully you guys will support this channel. I can't keep it running all the time because I want to, but I can't because I had to spend time on things that make money, man, and make sense. I love to spend time on this, but it has to make money and it has to make sense. Otherwise, I can't spend enough time on it. It's a reality of life. So I don't have time for hobbies, man. Everything I'm doing here is business. To be honest with you guys. And I don't worry about my brand. My brand will speak for itself. People already appreciate my brand, but I need the brand to now monetize and generate income for itself. So we're going to try different strategies until the brand actually starts to monetize. And then we'll move from there to other things. Yep. So this is not a hobby for me. This is actually business I'm doing. But I do enjoy doing this business with you guys and talking with you guys. And those of you who really appreciate some of the content on here, that's cool. But like I said before, you guys really want to get a better, more in-depth view on things through Master Boxing. I always promote that channel. I'll always promote Eric Bradley. Those of you who come through here, make sure and look at Master Boxing. That's a guy who knows the ins and outs of boxing. It's not just a guy talking through his ass. Eric Bradley never talked through his ass. Never. I believe in him 100%. I might not agree with everything he says, but I agree with him 100% most of the time. That sounds weird, doesn't it? I don't agree with everything he says, but I usually agree with him 100%. That's contradictory, if you didn't realize. Raul Ramirez, the man of the hour. What's up? It's been quite some time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was busy, man. I was very, very busy trying to take care of various assets and various things. I'm not done yet, but we're getting there. Hey, it's lots of business to take care of, brother. So this is I've been talking here for a pretty long period of time. Shout out to everybody for that. But we really want to not be as cursy, cursing a lot. I don't really like insulting people either. But guys, as fans, you got to just love the sport of boxing. And especially if you're going through history and you're seeing all these phenomenal fighters of the past, that should really give you even more respect for the sport presently. Not putting down the present fighters, man, because when you see what the crucible that these guys had to go throughout history to bring forth this sport as it is now, I feel like you should have such a respect for the sport that you wouldn't really necessarily want to tear down fighters today. At all. At all. My issue with most of you fight fans is you're ready to criticize a present fighter today on the same issue that you give a pass to a past fighter. This is my major issue with you guys. That is my overarching theme. And a lot of you are so ignorant of how far boxing has come from where it began that a lot of you just roll on the bandwagon of cussing out present fighters and say, well, if this fighter was to face that former fighter, former fighter would beat him. But, it's just like you're doing that as a derogatory response. I'm not saying that the former fighter wouldn't beat him or not. My point is this. Stop berating present fighters because you feel, even though you never were there, that past fighters would do it better. None of y'all was born in the 1960s that are saying this. There are a few of you that are on other platforms and channels who were born in that time. So why are you behaving like that? Most of you who talk about Sugar Ray Robinson never saw him fight live. Some of you who talk about Sugar Ray Leonard never saw him fight live. In fact, you never saw him fight, period, in the time when he was fighting. Some of you talk about live on TV or in the arena fighting. I have. Not just Muhammad Ali, because my dad was a big Muhammad Ali fan. But I've seen live Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, Thomas Hearns, Holloway, Sweet Pea, Oscar De La Hoya, Roy Jones Jr., James Toney, trying to remember this fighter right now. Oh, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. I didn't really like him, but yeah, me too. And many others. Because my father liked boxing. So, Why am I saying all of this? Because, ladies and gentlemen, the present fighters today are just fighters who are continuing a legacy and an arc of boxing that stems all the way back into the 1800s. Why would you shortchange that legacy because of your views? Aren't you a boxing fan? Or are you just a historian? I'm gonna catch you guys later. I'm what you need. Peace. I'm gone.